Today I'm going to be watching this video. It's called How to Behave in Norway, 11 Things You Should Never Do, Norwegian Etiquette. So tell me what things you think people should not do in Norway. I'm really interested to see this list. Tell me if you agree with it, if you're from Norway. Let's watch.
Hi guys, my name is Anna and welcome to my channel. Usually every single Sunday I'm going hiking, and today, not to feel alone, I'm taking you with me. In this video I'm going to tell you my list of 11 things you should never do in Norway. I have many of you guys from Norway here, so if I'm wrong about something or I'm missing anything, please let me know in the comments down below. Number 1, thinking that Norway is a small country. Guys, you cannot imagine how many people don't understand how large Norway actually is. I've heard many times that some people actually think that to get from Oslo to Bergen takes 2 hours with a car. Let me open you a little secret. To drive from Oslo to Bergen takes 7 hours to drive with no stops.
No stops!
Norway has a lot of mountains. It takes so many hours to drive from one place to another. For example, it takes 5 hours to fly from the south part all the way up. No, Norway is a very long country which is stretching from top of Europe all the way to the Arctic Circle. If you start a really large spin in the most south point of Norway and spin the country all around, Norway will reach all the way to Italy. Do you enjoy this video and find it informative? Please let me know about it. I will be happy to see your reaction.
That's actually a good point, and I feel like Norway, because of its shape, how thin it looks, or how it kind of looks on the map, I think it's very underappreciated how big the country is. When you see it even compared to my country in the UK to Scotland, it's more than double the length of the whole of the UK. Scotland could probably fit into a small part of southern Norway. Tell me if you're from Norway. Have you travelled like the full length of the country before? What's the furthest place from your home you've ever been in Norway? Have you ever been very, very north of the country? But yeah, really underappreciated fact about Norway that's interesting.
Second, get too close to anyone, anywhere. After 10 years of living in England and especially in Italy, I got quite used to people getting really close to you when you speak.
I don't even know the lady and she calling me a son on a beach.
Norwegians are very different. People in Norway appreciate their personal space. They're not being rude, it's just their nature. If you're not sure how close you should go, just watch their body language and don't get any closer if they back away from you.
Get away from me, boy. Get away. Stay back. Stay back.
I would say half a meter or a meter is quite a safe distance. However, during current situation, I got this message from my colleagues. Keep this in mind. Third.
Tell me if you agree with that, or you value your personal space. I definitely value my personal space. Even though she said she was in the UK, I don't like to get too close to people. I don't like people to get too close to me as well. So I completely relate to this. I appreciate it. I used to live in China. It's the opposite. People will use any excuse to get up close to you. Go on public transport and it's an absolute nightmare. People are like all over you. I hated it, but I appreciate personal space, definitely.
Never show up late. It is considered to be rude to be late for the event or cancel at the last minute. Up to 10 minutes late, it is okay. Norwegians will understand if you let them know in advance that you're going to be late for the event. Oh, I'm so sorry, I got lost while hiking. I will be 7 minutes late. Actually, some Norwegians like when people coming earlier to help them out. Think number 4.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so far, I can relate to the Norwegian way of life, definitely. I am very punctual. If I'm going to be late for something, I get super stressed. I start panicking, especially things like work and things. I'm never late. I always leave. I would much rather be 30 minutes later. If 30 minutes early, then 10 minutes late. So punctuality is very important to me as well. Tell me how important it is to you.
4. making eye contact all the time for a really long time. Norwegians don't like eye contact. They don't necessarily consider it's rude, they just don't know what to do about it and how to react. It doesn't mean that you should avoid it at all, especially when you greet someone. It's normal to look them in the eye. Hi hi. Hi hi. But don't look at them for too long. A simple rule here, just make the same long eye contact as they do. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please give me a reaction. Also consider subscribing to my channel. I will be so happy to have you as a part of my society. Number 5. You cannot underestimate the word koselig. Koselig means cozy, which is extremely important for Norwegians. Whether it is staying inside next to the fireplace or spending a whole weekend in a cabin, hut, koselig means for Norwegians to be 100% comfortable and to become really open up to other people. Christmas Eve is the most important day for Norwegians, where everything has to be koselig and traditions have to be followed. Thing number...
Man, I absolutely love Norwegian way of life. This is for me also so appropriate, man. I love this mentality, koselig. Sounds great. I love Christmas as well. Tell me how important Christmas is to you. But all these things so far, all these things actually are like me. I can relate to everything so far.
6. You can never think that you're better than everybody else.
I think that's just a good
is
thing.
a very important and unwritten law in Norway. It basically says you shouldn't think that you're any better. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have self-esteem. It just means that just don't be cocky, no matter how professional or how rich you are. Norwegians don't like people who brag. Number 7 might sound funny, but it is not funny at all, guys. When you're in Norway, never say that Sweden is better at winter sports.
That one already, even if someone did say that, it's fact, and you can use the stats of the Winter Olympic medals to prove who is the best. Norway has the most of any country in the world.
I'm just making sure that no one can hear me here. Norwegians and Swedes are bitter rivals when it comes to winter sports, especially winter Olympic sports. Swedes even have a theory that Norwegians dope themselves because they win a lot. But if there is the one thing you never do in Norway is to make fun of Olympians here. However, it doesn't mean that you cannot talk about it at all. Just be respectful. Because guys, now I understand after last winter how difficult it is to become such a strong character in terms of winter sports. The training is so painful. And I'm talking about random snowboarding, not about professional training for professional Olympic sports. Number 8.
So tell me, what's the most important event between Norway and Sweden ever? Has there ever been any big hockey matches, skiing events? What's the best example of that rivalry or the best match in your history?
8. Do not ask questions that show that you have no knowledge at all about Norway. It is not a good idea to visit Norway and ask where are there polar bears. What? Or if Norway is the capital of Sweden. Believe me guys, this happens a lot. I even had a few examples without naming names. I told people that currently I live in Norway and they go like, you moved to Sweden? No, I'm living in Norway. It might sound funny, but believe me, first of all, you will feel stupid making statements like this, and secondly, Norwegians and people who currently live here will make fun of it for many years after.
Silly Bridget.
Number 9, not dressing for the weather and complain about it. As Norwegians saying, there is no such a thing as a bad weather, only bad clothes.
Have to be prepared.
No, I told you there is not such a thing as a bad weather, only bad clothes. Actually, Norwegians complain quite a lot about the weather. go to Bergen and talk to local Norwegians there. They will complain a lot about how often it's raining here. However, Norwegians know exactly how to dress up for the cold weather. If you don't know what to wear in Norway and coming here winter time, watch my previous video. I explained how layers work. If you show up wearing a t-shirt and shirts when it's minus 10 degrees, you should thank yourself. Number 10. Think that you can see the northern lights anywhere in Norway all year round. Some people actually think that it's dark in Norway all the time and you can see the northern lights everywhere and all year round.
What?
That is not true. The best time to see the northern lights up north would be from September until early March. And still there is no guarantees. You can spend 2 weeks up north in Arctic Circle without seeing them because of cloudy weather. So if you really want to be lucky and experience such an event as Northern Light, watch my previous videos. There I'm explaining how to book a proper tour to the Arctic Circle and how to find the right
Tell me if
people
you've
to
seen the
show
Northern
you
Lights
the
before.
Northern Lights. They can even bring you all the way to Finland to make sure that your dream will come true and you will see the Northern Lights. Number 11. Visit only Oslo, the capital of Norway. And actually, in Norwegian, the right way to pronounce the name of the capital is Oslo. Oslo is a great starting point to spend there a few days, to go to the parks, to visit Akerbrygga, to visit Viking Ship Museum, also the opera. But after that, my advice, go somewhere else. Travel to Bergen. You will see those fascinating Norwegian legendary fjords. Or move even up north, like to Lofoten or to Tromsø, and you will have a great chance wintertime to see those legendary northern lights, or summertime you will experience midnight sun. It literally, when the sun doesn't go down and it stays daylight 24/7 from the end of May, I believe, until the very beginning of August. Last but not least, my advice before you travel.
Tell me, like, is it difficult to live in that sort of environment where it's light all day and all night as well? Is it hard to sleep? What's it like if you're not from that part of Norway but you travel there? Is it hard to adjust to that sort of way of life?
To Norway or to any other country. First, research some information about the country. Make sure that you know basic things like the name of the capital or some history about the country you are visiting. Also, just be open-minded. Treat other people with respect, the same way you want to be treated, and you will be just fine. Thank you so much for watching this video.
Yeah, that was a really interesting video. So yeah, 11 things you should never do. Tell me if you agree with all of them. If you're not going to Oslo, where else would you recommend in Norway to visit? Where's your favourite place? I think they're all very interesting. The first half of that, definitely, like, I can relate to the Norwegian personality. Definitely seems quite like me. So tell me what you think about these, and if there's anything else you shouldn't do in Norway in your opinion, tell me in the comments. Thanks.